How many times have you been texting a girl, you think things are going really well, you really feel like you've been building some good rapport, you feel like you two are getting on really well, and she could be a good potential for you. But then out of nowhere, she stops replying, or she leaves you on red, or she full on deletes you, ghosts you, blocks you.
No! God, please, no!
We've all been there, and it's not a nice feeling. And this is something that I used to experience all the time, and I could never get them from my phone, aka texting, to a date. Yes, I was getting matches, and yes, I could get responses, but I could never keep the conversation going long enough to get them to a date. And if you have also experienced this exact thing, I'm going to break down exactly why this happens and how to avoid it, so you can stop wasting your matches on dating apps, on Instagram, on Facebook, wherever you're meeting these girls, and actually get them from your phone to a date. Let's go. Now, I'm going to cut to the chase. The overarching reason why you can't get her to a date is because she perceives you to be boring. You have to understand, my friend, that women have an unlimited amount of options. She can date and sleep with who she wants to. So you have to really give her a good reason for her to meet you on a date, because not only is she meeting guys online, she's meeting guys in person, so that why would she really care about meeting you? For most women, online dating is just pure validation. It's just pure attention. She doesn't actually care about meeting you. And when you understand this, you will understand that you have to give her a strong reason to actually want to meet you. Otherwise, she's not going to meet you. So here's the 3 biggest things that you're doing that make you boring over text. Number 1, you answer her questions honestly. If you are answering a woman's questions honestly, you don't understand. You don't get it. This is you being logical. And women do not communicate via logic. They communicate via feelings and emotions. And every time you answer her question honestly, all she thinks is,
ugh, another guy who's boring.
Let's say she asks you, how are you? Which is a very common thing. We all know that when you say, yeah, I'm good, thanks, how are you? The conversation goes dead. Nothing happens from this. So you have to instead think of a fun way of telling her what you're up to. And this can be absolutely ridiculous when you answer her. You could say something as silly as, currently figuring out how I'm going to dominate the world. How about you? It doesn't really matter. The point is you're getting her to laugh and you're getting a reaction from her. Number 2, your body language and your tone of voice is shit. Your body language and your tone of voice is bad, like very bad. Now, I know what you're thinking, but this is texting. How can she tell my tone of voice? How can she tell my body language? Well, you can read a person's confidence, a person's tone of voice, a person's body language through how they text you, because if you use things like exclamation marks, loads of emojis, loads of question marks, she can work out exactly what kind of man you are. You as a man should never be using exclamation marks. Why? It's far too expressive. This makes you seem far too keen, far too needy, and like you care far too much. Unfortunately, the less interested you seem, the more interested she will be. So you have to find ways to tone things down, to make it seem like you are very cool, very calm, and like you don't give a fuck. And then when she cares, then you can actually start acting normal-ish. But for now, you have to play things cool. This is just a game. You either play it or you get played. Number 3, you ask too many questions. You should never be so invested early days when you're texting her that you feel the need to ask question after question after question. Not only is it boring and makes her feel like she's being interviewed, but it shows her you have nothing else better to do than be invested in her. When you text a very attractive girl, she will ask you hardly any questions. And the reason is because she doesn't care. And when she doesn't ask you questions, you subconsciously think, I have to work harder, I have to try harder. So then you try harder and you push her way further. So even if you want to ask a question, just don't ask it in a question format. Make a statement which she can reply to. Instead of saying, where are you from, question mark, you say, it seems like you're from here. I'm assuming you're from here. Judging by your pics, I think you're from here. Just don't add the question mark and you'll seem far more assertive and far more like you don't care, aka not needy. And if you want a full guide on being fun over text so that you can actually make it to the second date, there is a free guide in my bio below, as well as my other links which takes you to my full platform. Make sure you've subscribed if you haven't already for more dating tips, and I will see you in the next video.